You're watching an episode of Spirits People Live with Johnny Michelson.
All right, Spirits Tuesday is back, and my voice is all over the place for some reason. Happy Spirits Tuesday. So, my last Spirits People Live from Singapore this time around. I'm finally going back to London. What's going on? What's going on? I have a handful of samples that I'm going to be drinking during this live. They are going to be amazing, I hope. Some old stuff, 21-year-old Mortlach, 21-year-old Akantoshan. It's going to be interesting. And I have the Balvenie Ton 1509. So this should be an interesting live session. Whiskey Whims, what's going on? WHK 1975. Dregvant. What's going on, people? So I'm still in Singapore, and I have my travel glass with me, so I'll be drinking some samples. But yeah, after almost a month in Singapore, I'm pretty much ready to go back to my whiskey collection at home. I don't mind drinking samples, but I do miss my bottles. Playing some COD. I am not sure I understand that reference. Maybe that's a typo. What should I start with? All right. Any suggestions? So I have a couple of 21-year-olds, and I have the Balvenie Ton 1509. Murray McDavid, Mission Gold. Drinking coffee, dragging. Coffee? Man, I wish I could drink coffee right now. I love coffee so much that I actually started drinking decaf, because if I drink coffee all day, I will not be able to sleep. Alright, so let's see. I don't know, I think I'll start with the lightest in color, so let's actually just have a look at these. So the Balvenie is the darkest, so that goes at the end. 52.2% as well. That's nice. That'll be a good dessert. So let's see these two here. I'm not sure if you guys can see. These are pretty much the same color. They're nice and golden, so I guess I'm just gonna have to like throw them up in the air and catch one and see which one I get. Alright, there we go. Murray McDavid, Mission Gold, 21-year-old Mortlach, 50.4%. So this is going to be the starter. And the main, Phoebe, what's going on? The main is going to be the 21-year-old Akantoshan. And Akantoshan is a lowland. I actually did not know that. I thought it was a highland distillery. So there we have it. I've learned something already. Alright, so let's start from the beginning. I have no idea about this one here. Phoebe, I'm in Singapore still. I am flying back to London on Thursday morning. So I am at the very end of my trip, which is amazing. I miss my wife and my whiskey, so I am looking forward to going back. Let's see, how are you guys doing over in New York? 50.4%. Ay. This is going to be good. So, Mortlach, I know zero about any of these. I'm familiar with the Mortlach as in, like, I recognize the name. That's pretty much it. Cold in New York? I cannot say the same about Singapore. It's a good 90 pretty much at all times. No, it's not true. It's probably 80. 80 to 90, but yeah, humidity is like through the roof, so it's ridiculous. Oh my gosh. Alright, so whatever this is, Mortlach, 21-year-old, it smells delicious. Swaps. Nah, I'm alright. We'll stop over in July when it's pretty much the same in New York. So we'll take that. Alright, so I'm just gonna let it open a little bit. So let's assess, as the obsessed whiskey people we are. Ah, Phoebe. You are welcome to join. Go live, see what she's up to.
What up, Poik?
Fee!
I want some of that whiskey.
Oh, Jesus. You can have some.
It's my buddy Darren.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Hey, man.
Cheers.
Cheers. We gotta have some scotchies.
Oh,
I'm
man.
loving all the. What are you tasting?
So, I don't actually know. It's called Mortlach, and it's
Mortlach.
Murray McDavid, Mission Gold.
Nice, nice.
21-year-old, single malt.
Are you bringing some home for the wifey?
Well, no, I came in one of these. I am definitely drinking the whole bottle.
I'm introducing your stream to a whole new audience, so be prepared.
All right.
Some new people.
Tune in list.
Garen's on board already.
Solid. You guys at work or taking a break?
We're working, man. Do you recognize this life? Just FYI.
Oh, gosh. I know how it's like to work. I actually just stopped working 15 minutes ago.
Oh, man. Brutal.
You can tell you're drinking.
Yeah, good to know. Well, we're going to get back to the sexy Scotch life, and I don't want to bore all your viewers, but let me give you a quick view of like what's going on today in the New York City.
All right. Check that out.
For your viewers,
NYC.
NYC in the house. Super nice
Solid.
day today.
Beautiful day.
Yeah, there's the Hudson over there.
Sweet.
All right, man. I've totally hijacked your live stream, but good to see you. Keep drinking
All right,
that Scotch.
Fee.
All right,
Talk to you
peace
in a bit.
out.
Peace. All right. Fee live from NYC. Amazing. I'll have the first sip for Fee. Ay. That's amazing. All right. So first sip. Kind of just opening my palate here. But wow, okay. Lots of spice. There's some bitterness to it. Yeah. If I had more of this, I would definitely drink even more. What age is the Mortlach? It is a 21-year-old. And it's from Murray McDavid, and it's called Mission Gold. I have no idea what that means. $292 bottles. All right. So yeah, this is a sample from these guys are called the Dram Team. So it is a UK subscription service where you can get one box of samples sent to you once a month or once every 3 months, and they come in little boxes. I don't actually have a box with me right here. They come in little boxes, and they have 5 25 ml samples, plus they always have one of these smaller 10 ml samples of a little bit more rare or exclusive bottles, which this one here supposedly is. So 292 bottles, 21-year-old, I would say probably decently enough exclusive or rare. And yeah, it's, man, that first sip, I kind of, and there's only 10 mils, so it's tiny, hence why I have two more different ones. So a 21-year-old Auchentoshan and a Balvenie Ton 1509. So I'll be drinking all of these during the stream because they are so tiny, and because it's my last night here, I figured I'd drink a bunch of these little exclusive ones just to kind of wrap up my Singapore trip. All right, Steve Akeley is here. The Bourbon Illuminati. See what else is going on. Man, this is just proper interesting. So there's so much spice on that first sip that I'll be interesting to see how much of that kind of sticks. Lots of oil in the glass. Lots of darker notes, actually. There's some leather. There's some coffee beans. Yeah, a lot of stuff going on. Some raisins, some dates, maybe. Oh, wow. There's so much stuff going on. I don't even know where to start. It just lingers. It just lingers as well. Nice oaky Balvenie. See, I've never tried any of these ton releases. I've tried some of their regular ones. So yeah, I'm excited about this. And because it's the darkest in color, I did say that I was going to save this one for my dessert. So the Morlock here is my starter. The Auchentoshan is going to be my main. So yeah, I'm just basically going to have a whiskey meal live on Instagram, which I thought was a suitable way to end my Singapore trip. So yeah, I don't know if anyone, since it's only 292 bottles, I don't know if anyone have tried this one, and I'm still not sure what this Murray McDavid stuff means. I'm assuming that it's probably a bottler. That's my guess, but yeah, I don't actually know. I don't know that much about Scotch, as people that follow me know that I'm mostly a bourbon person, or like bourbon is my kind of source and entry into the whiskey world. But since I've gotten into it, I've become more and more interested in all kinds of spirits, including Scotch, but also like mezcals, tequilas, all kinds of stuff. Whiskey Wins is saying it's just a bottler. It makes sense. I don't know why else they would put the name on the sample bottle. So yeah, it makes sense. Funnily enough, like, although I don't know much about Scotch, I'm familiar with most brands, or at least I've heard about them before, but this one I've never heard about before. So yeah, learn something new. So I'm just about now done with the finish on that last sip, and that's at least a couple of minutes. That is extreme. It just lingers. Indoor scent bottler. Ah, right. More like it's a Diageo brand. Didn't even know that. There we go. Learning stuff on the go. That's awesome. That's what it's all about. Yeah, I was curious about that. So the next one coming up, so if anyone knows anything about Auchentoshan, because I thought it was a Highland, it says here it's a lowland distillery, which was also news to me. And only a couple of weeks ago, I remember I had a couple of lowland samples, and I was quite surprised that they were both slightly smoky. I had no idea, but a couple of viewers at the time were saying, yeah, it's quite common that lowland whiskeys are slightly smoky, and also has some citrus notes. So that was also very interesting. So yeah, I'm just learning as I go here, going through all these whiskeys that are outside of my comfort zone, if you will. So yeah, it's kind of a fun journey to be on, and it's extremely helpful to have people like you guys kind of let me know what's up. So Murray McDavid's, independent bottler, Mortlach, part of Diageo. Diageo is obviously one of the bigger brands in the world. So you have a few of those. You got your Sazeracs, your Pernod Ricards, and all of those big companies. Diageo, I believe, is British. And yeah, they own quite a bit. Smoky, peated. Yeah. So there's a slight peatiness to it. But yeah, it wasn't obviously like an Islay or like an island type Scotch. It was more like a light dust of peat, if you will. Hey, Bobby, what's going on, man? Bobby's Windows, checking in from Canada, Toronto, to be specific. So yeah, I'm still on the Mortlach. There's not much left because these are 10 ml samples. So the 21-year-old Mortlach, which is just packed with flavor, is about to go away for me. But this has been a pleasant discovery, I would say. It's funny actually how, so the nose doesn't really give much away. As soon as it hits the palate, it just kind of explodes. It's quite numb on the nose, which is a little bit of a surprise. Also, the intensity doesn't really give much away. Auchentoshan by Beam Suntory, also a massive brand. Mm. So Whiskey Whims, it's called the Dram Team. So DRAM Team. And yeah, they have these. I believe you can also buy one-off boxes. They have a couple of curated boxes, and they obviously have their subscription services, which I find really interesting. So I was a member. I'm not actually a current member because I ended up accumulating a lot of the boxes because I didn't have time to drink them all. And when I say time, what I really mean is that I have way too much stuff that I needed to drink. So I ended up with a backlog of Scotch samples. And because I don't drink Scotch that often, they were kind of just sitting there. So I actually not a current member. But I find it a really interesting way to get exposed to a lot of different brands because they will have different brands all the time. They also have non-Scotch whiskeys. They've done some bourbons. They've done some Japanese world whiskeys. So yeah, it's a fun way to explore and learn new things, which is kind of what I'm getting into now. So I'm finally getting through all of these. Not that it's a chore. Oh yeah, Master of Malt. Yeah, so Drinks by the Dram by Master of Malt is a similar thing. They also have boxes, I believe. Or actually they do, because the British Bourbon Society that I'm a member of had a box of, I can't believe it's maybe 5 or 6 bourbons, so that you can get like a range of stuff that you can try before you buy. So yeah, it's really cool. There's a handful of services out there. I know that there is a I forget what it's called. There's a French service as well. But yeah, there's a handful of them. The ones I have here is from the Dram team. Tennessee whiskey, Kentucky whiskey, Evan and Jack. Evan and Jack, good solids. I'll drink anything, to be honest. Like I'm not picky. I have some favorites, but yeah, I'll take anything in a bottle that's been distilled by talented people all around the world. I'm going to rinse this glass. Canada, no such service. I'm sure if the LCBO did a subscription service, like people would actually do it. Tom and Tal? How do you pronounce that? I have no idea. It's funny how I recognize the name, but like as many Scotch names, I probably have no idea how to pronounce it properly. So yeah, I'll probably bastardize all of these names. Auchentoshan, I'm pretty sure I've heard someone said that, but then again, who knows? Whiskey Wins wants to join. All right, let's bring him on. Let's have a cheers. While Whiskey Wins is connecting, I'll be pouring my Auchentoshan. Still connecting. We'll see what happens. I hear some audio. I don't see any video. How do you say it? Tum and Toll? Tum and Toll. All right. Tum and Toll. Got it. Amazing. Auchentoshan. Amazing. I'm learning as I go. I love it. you're there's no bit, yeah. You have your Tum and Toll. All right, I think we lost him. Anyway, cheers. Thanks for that. Everything helps. My pronunciation is ridiculous. All right, he's trying again. All right, let's see if we can get him on. All right, so this here is a little bit lighter. It's not working. Yeah, your audio is coming through. So yeah, thanks for the pronunciation and cheers if you have your glass there. All right. All right. So we're on to Auchentoshan, which I then have just got confirmation I'm pronouncing decently enough. So I'm quite pleased with that. All right, Bourbon House is also in the house. What's going on? So let's see. Auchentoshan, 21-year-old. This is a lowland, as I've just learned today after reading this label. This is only 43%. Let's see, what was the Mortlach? It was, this was 50.4. Okay, I should have probably started with the Auchentoshan, but it's too late now. So this is probably going to be somewhat lighter, but because I'm not really familiar with the distillery and the flavor profile, we'll just have to wait and see. So the nose is maybe a little bit more subdued than the Mortlach. But then again, even the Mortlach nose was quite numb compared to the palate. Auchentoshan triple distilled. All right, okay. That's interesting. Is this all of them or just this one here? Oh, wow, okay. I did not know that. I knew that, well, triple distillation is common in Ireland, but I wasn't aware of any distilleries actually doing this in Scotland. You have to distill it twice, but this third time, yeah, I wasn't sure. So the Balvenie batch, this is ton 1509. It is 52.2%. It looks like that. I keep doing that. The iPhone camera doesn't really pick up when I do that, but yeah, it's 1509. Yeah, this is way darker than the other two. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. So now that I know that this is triple distilled, it actually makes sense because it's quite light. I know that it's 43% only, but it's almost like it almost tastes and feels like a blend to me. It's a little bit lighter. There's complexity in here. But it's very, very delicate. Let's see. So I had a first sip here and I wasn't really getting much. There was a light kind of citrusy note on it. Almost like a little bit of a banana, some vanilla. Maybe a hint of cloves. Some honey, maybe. Autocorrect. Oh man, autocorrect is a pain. It's nice. It's nice. It's nice, but it's very delicate. And I think because I've just had the other one, which is kind of a spice bomb, this one here falls a little short for me. And also I definitely prefer higher proof anything. And maybe this is just a phase, but yeah, I can appreciate lower proof stuff, and like sometimes I'll water down my high proof stuff, but I think when things are too delicate, I have to be in a certain mood to like really get into that and appreciate those kind of finer nuances. Whereas like almost pretty much any day, I'll take a high proof American whiskey or a barrel strength scotch for that matter. There's a little bit of a weird acetone feel to this. I don't know if it's difficult because these little bottles here, obviously as soon as you crack that, it's not really that much, so it doesn't really get a lot of air. And before it's opened up, I've drank it because I can't stay away from these anyway. So I'm not sure if this is getting a fair trial by me. But I will say though, the flavor profile, although quite subdued, all the combination of flavors is quite delicious. I kind of wish there was more of it. Cask strength is the way forward. Amen. Absolutely. Yeah, I'll take a cask strength any day. Mm. Yeah, I don't think this is for me. There's a weird bitterness to it. It's almost like, yeah, it's kind of chewing an old wallet or something. Like it's like old leather, but for me, not in a nice way. Yeah, man, add some water in there. I like it. I like that you can kind of play, like you could add water to this, but like it would probably ruin it. But yeah, cask strength, play around with that, have a dropper, add some drops in there, play around with it, see what happens, blend it in with some other stuff, which I also quite enjoy. So if you haven't seen some of my previous episodes, I do sometimes do the taste and blend episodes where I have two spirits, not necessarily whiskeys. I've done a bourbon and cognac blend. I'll taste two different spirits and then I will blend the two and see what happens, which I find really, really interesting. So yeah, I've done a few of those. I'll do more when I'm back with my whiskey collection back in London, which will be later on this week, actually just in time for the whiskey show. And I'll be there on Saturday. So if anyone out there is at the whiskey show in London on Saturday, let me know. And yeah, we'll have a dram or cheers in person. Yeah, that one is not for me. That was a shame. I was kind of hoping that it would have been a contester of, because there was two 21-year-olds here, so the Auchentoshan and the Morlock were both 21 years old. But yeah, for me, the Auchentoshan is not something I'm going to be writing home about. Octomore Artbeck. Yeah, I do have I have a big peat sample over there. I have a couple of peaty versions that I could dive into. But unfortunately, I have to get up super early and work tomorrow before I head back. So I have to be somewhat respectful of of my work. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I could have one more maybe. But yeah, so the last one tonight, or at least the last one on the live stream, is going to be the Balvenie Ton 1509. So this is coming in at 52.2%. So my job, I'm a consultant or freelancer or contractor, whatever you want to call it, in the digital agency world. So I was a program director for many years in kind of digital design and stuff like that, project management. So right now, I mostly help with kind of process and team management and those kind of things. So I'm in Singapore right now on a contract for my old company, and been here for almost a month. So I'll be heading back to London, and yeah, hopefully take a little bit of a break and do some more live sessions. I'm kind of missing out. I was just starting to do more live streams. I had a bunch of things that I was kind of planning on doing. So as soon as I'm back, I'll be picking that back up, which I'm very excited about. But yeah, Singapore is always nice. It's always nice to be here for a bit. It's nice and warm. They have some really amazing whiskey bars, although extremely expensive. But yeah, it's always fun to see what's actually available and what you can buy. Yeah, it's interesting. Traveling is fun. Too much traveling is not fun. But yeah, it's been a while actually since I've traveled for work. So yeah, it's quite cool to get to do it every now and then. All right, clean glass. Here we go. Balvenie. So I don't think I've had a Balvenie that I didn't like. But on the other hand, I also don't think that I could recall exactly what any of the Balvenies that I've had, what they taste like. I think it's just one of those brands that I've tried a few, but I don't necessarily remember them. And I think that's kind of what, for me, that's most Scotch, because I haven't really been paying that much attention to it. Whereas like if you were to ask me what some specific bourbon would taste like, I'll be able to like kind of recite some of my tasting notes, because it's something I've been very aware of. So I'm only just starting to get into this, but as far as I recall, there's no Balvenie that I've tasted that I didn't like. But yeah, we'll see. This could change. This could be horrible. I doubt it, but there's always a risk. I don't think this will be horrible. I think this will be very nice. Definitely some oak on there. Some caramel. Some ripe pears. Almost caramelized pears to some degree. Vanilla. Oh man. Okay. I have a feeling this is going to be my favorite. (1401s), 1509. So, it just occurred to me, I have no idea what that means. Ton 1509. Is this a barrel? So barrel 1509 is like a single barrel thing for Balvenie. I've actually seen this, like I've seen this on the label ton some number, but it just occurred to me that I have no idea what that means. So what really comes through is that caramelized pear. That is really interesting. 1509 to open. All right, so 1509. If you get caramelized pear on the 1509 when you get there, if you remember, I would be amazed. It's not something I think I've picked up before. I mean, I've picked up pear in many situations, and caramelized apples, but I can't recall ever using caramelized pears. But that's kind of what I'm getting. Size of the mash tun. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. So how is that? I don't even know. I have a million questions now. So just because it's the size, you could have many tons of the same name but different batches. Is that correct? Seems odd. So then how do you know what batch it is? Or is it like a batch number as well? Oh, yes. Ooh. Oh, keeps giving. Oh, the finish. Oh, wow. Whiskey gasm. Fuck, this is amazing. I love this. This is amazing. Oh, wow. All right, so we have the ton discussion here. What's happening? Reference to the Marion run. The batch is made up selected casks across statements that are marriage in run. Oh, wow. Cool, very cool. Now I just need to remember that. I'm pretty sure I'll have forgotten that tomorrow, but I'll go back and check because I will remember that I asked the question. Okay, so I get some of that, maybe a little bit of burnt caramel on the intensity. So it's probably like a medium intensity on this one. It's darker, so it's like an amber versus the other two, which was a golden color. Both the other ones didn't really have much on the intensity, so it's almost like a 0. But yeah, this one here is a medium. It's 52.2% as well, so it's punching above that 100 proof, which I like. Yeah, this is really good. This is my favorite of the night, with only one sip in. I'll say that with confidence. Definitely my favorite of the night. Followed by the Mortlach and Auchentoshan at the very end. Some baking spices on there. It's just like everything about this is just nice. There's some sweetness. There's some oak. There's that lingering caramelized pear. So maybe a little bit of Christmas cake. Some raisins and stuff, vanilla. It's just kind of like, it's an explosion of flavor here. It's amazing. I love this. Three months in the tun. Oh, wow. Man, if you have a Balvenie 1509, I am very jealous right now. This is very, very good. And I think a lot of the, so I'll assess myself as I say that because I really enjoy a lot of those sweeter flavors. The more bourbon-like characteristics, I think that's definitely what I'm leaning towards here. There's a lot of those, although 1509. It's ton 1509. So yeah, there's a lot of those kind of sweeter notes, which is kind of what I lean towards when I seek out whiskey, and mostly that is American whiskey. But yeah, as I was saying earlier, just kind of curious about all kinds of spirits these days. So I drink less. I wouldn't say I drink. Well, I don't probably drink less. I just drink more because I still drink a lot of bourbon, but now I also drink scotch and tequila and mezcal and cognac. I probably should stop. Probably should slow down a little bit if I want to get old and in shape. But yeah, definitely like a profile that I can get behind this ton 1509. And I think like as I said, I don't necessarily remember some of these other Balvenis that I've had, but as I recall, they're kind of, because these are Speyside, I believe, Balvenie Speyside. I believe that they're a little bit on the lighter side, or not lighter, like easygoing kind of thing, and on the sweeter side maybe, as far as I remember. But I'd have to go back and test that theory out. But yeah, so far I'm impressed. It's also, although in the glass, sometimes it's hard to judge the viscosity because I've rinsed it with water. But I feel like it's giving away some of that thickness. And I'm just making an assumption that this one here is non-chill filtered. It's 52.2%. Packed with flavors, oily. All right, so we're getting some facts here. Dregment is saying Ton 5009 is made up of 42 casks, 35 traditional American oak, 7 European oak sherry butts. Very interesting. So on the sherry casks, not getting a lot of that, but now that you mention it, there is a hint of some fortified wine in there, but only a hint. And it's almost just like it's a dryness. It's some dark red fruits and a little bit of dryness. So the dryness, I tend to get dryness when you have stuff that's been finished in like wine casks or port casks. I can kind of pick that up, but it's just a little bit on this, and I didn't actually pick it up until it was pointed out here. But yeah, it's super, super subtle. Man, it's good. I'm loving this. I have to check out some balconies. This will be a continued journey, definitely, for this brand. I'll check some of that stuff out. Aye, aye. And the power of the finish, I'm so impressed. Like, it doesn't just kind of sit there for a while in kind of a, oh, it's the finishing. It's almost like the mid palate just continues. That's absolutely amazing. Wow. Man, this has been educational, to say the least. Man, Balvenie is on my radar. So let's see what we have here. So 3 samples in order. The Murray McDavid Mission Gold 21-year-old Morlach was the first that I drank, but is my last in order of preference. Then the Auchentoshan 21-year-old was, oh, actually, what I said was incorrect. It's my second. The Auchentoshan is the second one that I had, but the last in order of preference. It was definitely not for me. However, on a different day, perhaps, if I had it on its own, I shall never turn it down. It was offered to me. I'll definitely try it again. And then the Balvenie Ton 1509. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. I fucking love this shit. It's so good. I'm going to have to see if I can get a bottle of this. This might be too expensive, but we'll have to see. All right. Cool. This is the conclusion of this live stream, I think. So yeah, the last live stream from Singapore. This time around, I may be back, but as of next week, I'll be back in my home office doing my live stream, and I'll be back at doing my weekly giveaway. I am behind on delivering the Spirits People tote bags. So every week I do give away a free Spirits People tote bag. However, it has been in back order at the factory, and I've also not been home for almost a month, so I am behind on that. But next week, I'll be back in London. We'll be doing the weekly giveaway, and I'll also be giving an update on when the tote bags will arrive. I know there's a few people actually waiting for those. So I'll get back on that, back in the game, and maybe I'll do a blend session. And also, I'll hopefully have some of my close connections back, and we'll do a live session with a couple of other people as well, which is what I also normally do, but it's been tricky with the time zones here in Singapore. So looking forward to that. Bobby's Windows is confirming it is an awesome bag. I will agree, which is also why I haven't settled for another type of bag. I've been waiting for the one that I've chosen, because it did take me 3 months to find the right bags. Perfect quality, the one that I would actually do carry with me every single day. And I've done it. It fits a laptop. It fits plenty of bottles, which is great. So yeah, I'll get back to that. And please feel free to post on the SpiritsTwosday hashtag. If you post a picture of 2 bottles and use that hashtag, you'll be able to join the competition for the free tote bag. So there is that. And I think with that said, I'm going to peace out. Thanks, everyone, for joining today. Thanks for all the information about any of these bottles. I've learned a lot. And I hope to see you guys next week. That's it. Peace out.
Thank you for watching this episode of Spirits People Live. For more videos, check out spiritspeople.com, subscribe on YouTube, and be sure to follow us on Instagram, where we connect you with spirits people worldwide.